How's it going? How's it going? Hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Really excellent start to this month. So day 13, we have a topic for today. It is what is the most difficult part of showing up? I think that's really appropriate. What's the most difficult part of showing up every single day, or at minimum, showing up to a commitment that you make for yourself? And what I would say for me, I think the hardest thing is to make sure that I'm planning my time properly, to make sure that I've realized that for me, it's so much easier for me to plan the day before what I want to get done the next day. So if before I go to bed, if I have a little, like a little checklist, so to speak, of what I want to get done for the next day, I will totally make sure that it gets done. But if I kind of fly by the seat of my pants and think, oh, I've got a list in my head, I know what I'm going to do, then a lot of times stuff gets missed. And so I find writing things down, and I keep a little journal, and then I also have a daily planner, and I write things down, and I write a list of what I want to get done. And when I do, it gets done. And so the hardest part of showing up every single day is for me is making sure that I get the time in, and to make sure that I honor my commitment to showing up and doing content. And because I really do, I know it makes a difference. And there's people that have told me it makes a difference. And I do love sharing wisdom, and showing up is part of it, just sharing that wisdom and sharing what I've learned, because otherwise, like, what's the point of learning all that? What's the point of learning everything and being able to make it through some extremely traumatic events, and in order to thrive and really live the life that I want, that makes me really happy and feel joy every day. And I want to share that with other people, because everybody deserves to live, outside of their suffering. Everybody deserves to live in a way that they, that helps them to feel fulfilled, right? You're like living your purpose, and you're just feeling actually just peaceful and joyful every day. And so you get to choose how you want to spend your time, or you get to choose your feelings, or you get to choose, your level of joy, or whatever it is. But at least you feel like you have a choice, because a lot of like resentment and a lot of anxiety comes from feeling like we don't have choice in something, that we're like stuck. And that's like the worst feeling. And so, so I think that showing up, keeping your commitment to yourself, me keeping my commitment to me, helps me to have choices, and it helps me to be a lot more aligned. And I feel stronger. I feel like I'm really living up to the best version of myself, and it just gets better every day. So, I would love to, challenge you. I'd love to challenge you to show up in your life and do those things that may feel hard, because sometimes you have to just say, like, F your feelings. You just got to do it. You got to do the work. And I know I've had to say that to me. I actually heard that from Layla Hermosi. One of the best things I've ever heard somebody do. She said, F your feelings, do the work. F your feelings, do the work. And she kept saying it over and over and over. And it was on this post. And I screenshotted it, and it really, sometimes you can't worry about your feelings. You just have to do the work. You can't worry about how you're feeling at the time. If you made a commitment, you show up for the commitment. It's the same thing with the gym, with eating, with recording, with painting, with, and anything that you want, dancing, anything that you want to master, anything that you want to do, that you say that you want in your life, that commitment level, it takes you showing up every single day, even if you don't feel like it. Even if you don't feel like it, you just do the work. You do the work, and you do it until you feel like it again. And then you start building up that momentum. And then, there's going to be waves. We've talked about that before. There's going to be wavelengths. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. On those highs, you're going to be flying high. You're going to be surfing that vibrational wave, and you're just going to be feeling so excited that you are going for it. And on those down your days, like where you're kind of coming down on that wave and you're coming into that dip, you're going to be like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? Should I do something else? Oh, there's this new great shiny new project over here. Maybe I should do that. Maybe it'll be easier. Well, here's the thing. You're going to be starting over. So you're always going to get to a point of resistance. You're always going to get to a point where it's hard. You're always going to get to a point where you don't feel like doing it. We all do. We all do. I totally get there. So I get it. And it's about pushing through. When you make a commitment to yourself and you make a commitment to other people, you show up. You keep your word to yourself. First and foremost, you keep your word to yourself. And I am practicing that more and more. It's not a perfect practice by any stretch, and it is so much better than it used to be, because I am actively practicing keeping my word to myself and being very cautious about what I give my word to. So having those boundaries and being able to say no, and knowing that when I give my word, it means I'm going to show up and you get my best. So, all right. That's what I got for today. I got to hurry up so I can post this. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Just so you know, too, there's a lot of cosmic radiation from the sun and from the universe coming our way right now. So if you're feeling fatigued, if you're feeling headaches ringing in your ears, if you have any kind of stuff going on, maybe you're feeling more energy. Maybe you're getting a boost, but there's a geomagnetic storm that's been going on with the sun the last couple of days, and man, it'll affect all kinds of stuff. Our emotions, our feelings, animals will feel it because it's affecting the magnetic waves. There's been more aurora borealis everywhere, so the colors, have been showing up around the planet because of, again, the way that the magnetism, the sun is affecting our magnetic field. It feels a little scary sometimes, but it's the universe. It's what's happening. So, So if you're feeling something, it's just breathe and do some meditation, and you'll make it through. You'll make it through this. It happens all the time. It's just one of the largest recorded ones that we've had. But it'll go down. Just remember the wavelength. Right now we're in the peak. We're going to go back down. So no worries. Okay. Have a great night. I'll see you next time.